refugees, many seeking new lives away from the violence.
Due to the present conflict in my country, I lost my home along with everything. I'm now looking for a decent life for my children. I need a good income and a good life for my children.
In places like Beirut, Syrian families are going through the application and screening process so that they can come to places like Canada, where tonight a military aircraft will land, bringing 150 of the tens of thousands of people set to arrive in the coming months.
We've looked at this as more of a humanitarian effort, a solid humanitarian effort, and made sure that some of the criteria that we used to look at, such as language criteria, while we still look at it, we also know that we can give great support back in Canada.
And the numbers back up the claim. In a recent Bloomberg poll, nearly 65% of Canadian citizens support Syrian refugees taking up a new life here in Canada. That is compared to just 27% in the United States. For the 150 Syrians landing in Toronto Thursday night, the first stop will be a special border screening center at the Toronto International Airport. That will offer clothes and food, as well as a play area for children and space for parents to rest. But the screening process is as important as the welcome mat.
We'll be able to know whether or not we need to take extra measures with that particular individual.
The refugees will be given a night's stay in nearby hotels, and
when our new arrivals leave the airport, they will do so as permanent residents of Canada.
There are also sponsorship programs in place to assimilate families into the new culture. Safwan Choudhry runs the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at in Toronto. To those that say, you know, these are people that are coming into Canada or the U.S. that we really don't know a lot about. We're afraid. What do you say?
Well, it goes right back to that us versus them mentality, right? I think it's important that we don't play into the hands of these terrorist organizations because that's the tactics they use. This fear and divide, you know.
Choudhry also sees that us versus them mentality playing out in the U.S. presidential campaign and Donald Trump's call to close the border to Muslims. What would you say about Donald Trump right now?
I don't think that Donald Trump is worth this very conversation for us to talk about him. But look, at the end of the day, here in Canada, he's mostly just looked at a celebrity figure who's just looking for popularity, more Twitter followers and more social media and more people talking about him. Most people that I speak to here in Canada, they don't take him as a serious candidate.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to be at the terminal welcoming the first military flight of refugees tonight.